Hello there. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to check something. Yep, change that. All right. Now, um, what I am doing today is just a short little haul of, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Just a short little haul of some books that I picked up on New Year's Eve day. Um, I had gone out specifically to buy one book, not a comic book. I'll save that for the end. Um, And after I had went to where I needed to go to pick that up, there's a um, bookstore in Canada known as Indigo. Um, I had tried to get this book at Indigo at West Ed. They were out, and Indigo was having a sale where all their hardcovers were 30% off. So that might give you an idea. If you know anything about me, you might know what's coming at the end of this. But um, after I had picked that up, I was done, and there wasn't a West Edmonton mall. It was there's a mall called Southgate as well here. Um, and after that, I went to Whyte Ave. Wasn't going necessarily to get anything, but I figured I'd check one place in particular where there was a couple books, or at least this first book here. And some say you should end with this book, but no, I'm going to start with this book. Um, I saw it before, but I wasn't sure if I wanted it or not. But I saw that this was one of um, uh, Dave from Still Only 35 Cents. This was one of his collecting goals from last year because we're now into 2025. And it reminded me when I watched his collecting like year end video, and it's like, this is what I picked up. It's like, I've seen that book. Where was that? Oh, right, I have that. So I don't know how rare it is or not. It's some consider it a minor key. I don't know. But I don't know if you would consider this a minor, a major, or major, and you can let me know whether or not you think I spent too much on it. But this is Marvel Comics Group, the official Marvel no prize book, Mighty Marvel's Most Massive Mistakes. So there you go, and you can see that's how much I paid for it, $8 Canadian. So you can do the conversions yourselves for where you live. But I figured I wasn't likely to see it again, so I figured I'd pick that up. I love how it's got the little quarter box with Night Nurse. That's another book I want to get is Night Nurse, but I don't really have collecting goals for this year. It's more I go out hunting, and what I find is what I find. Anyways, moving on. At the same place, I bought this. I think mainly for the cover, but it's Printed Matter Comics Presents, and it's a Clint Eastwood cover, I guess you could call it, but it's called Renegade Rabbit, the Good, the Bad, and the Furry. And I think Nate from Holly Out, he'll see that and you're like, oh my God, I gotta find that. Unless he already has it. Who knows? Nate, you can let me know if you already have this book or not. But and again, that one was $8, and I didn't really want to pay $8 for that, but I was getting the other one anyways, and it was New Year's. It was sort of I was out treating myself for New Year's, so I picked those two up from a place called the Junk Cellar, and that's junk spelled Junque. Just to let you know. I'll write the name of the places down in my description at the end, unless I forget. Hopefully, I won't forget. But while I was on Whyte Ave, I also picked up. I went in. I looked at their dollar books. Didn't really see anything. This first one I saw, and I thought about it, and then I put it back, and then I went upstairs to look at their magazines, and I'm going to show you what I found there. It's not a comic book, and these are not comic books. I found two things up there, and I saw them, and I had to buy them. But we'll start with the comic book. Then I went back downstairs, and I said, you know what? I'll get this one anyways. I basically bought it because the ones the other things were not in bags and boards, and so I sort of wanted an extra book to put against it to sort of protect one of the ones that's in rough shape. But anyways, we have from Comics Ahoy, we got an issue number 1, and it's called Captain Ginger. Yes, it's called Captain Ginger. It's interesting. It's by Moore, Brigman, Richardson, and Gandini. I think it's actually Is that, I don't know, is it Alan Moore? I don't know if it's Alan Moore, but it's somebody Moore. And it says extras. It's got something from Grant Morrison, Phil Hester, and Shannon Wheeler in it. So, and it's like, the book is steeped in cat lore, cat behavior, and cat knowledge. That's what it says, and that's a quote by like that Walter Simonson. So that's a fun little pickup. Now, let's see. I think I'm going to show the magazine I found first. Like I said, this wasn't in a bag board, so it was a little bit in rough shape. But I had an extra magazine. I knew I had some extra magazine bag and boards at home. Or I had one and it was on one of my Dragon magazines. At some point, I'm actually going to showcase all the Dragon magazines I own. And that means including, I'm going to show like the older issues of Dragon. Maybe even the older issues of Dungeon magazine that I have. But I found this. This is, and supposedly there was only 4 issues of this. So this is fall from 1978. It originally was $1.75, and it's Asimov's Science. It's Asimov's SF Adventure magazine, first issue. So it's basically a Asimov's science fiction adventure magazine, and it's got this great cover. And I believe, it's by this person here. I think it's by this person. No, I can't remember. Anyways, I wasn't sure when I saw it whether I was going to pick it up. I'm going to take this out here because I want to show you something. But then I looked in the centerfold, and this was, if you can believe it, this was $3. I mean, it's not in the best of shape. It's definitely got some dog hairs, dog ears, and it's pretty faded, but in the center, and it came originally with this. That's not still attached, but it is in there. Is a centerfold poster. It's not attached, so I'm going to take it out and show it to you. Ta-da! Look at that. Isn't that cool? Like I said, it's detached from the book, but it was in the book. You know, usually something like that gets detached, and it's not in there. But when I originally took it off the rack, and one minute I saw it, I was like, I'm taking that. It wasn't going back on the rack. I didn't care. Let's see. Show me. Don't show that. Show me who the. I'm just trying to find the name of the artist. George. Hello, come on. Can you tell me who the cover artist is? I have no. Oh, yeah. So it's the Center Spread by Paul Alexander. So that cover image, yeah, and you can see here where it's not in the greatest of shape, but that's that image there, and that center spread is by Paul Alexander. Now, I don't necessarily, you know what, because it's in such difficult shape, I'm not going to try to put that back in the bag on the board right now. I'll do it later when I have a little more time to do it carefully. But I saw that and I was like, I had to get that. So now that was the second thing I saw. This was the first thing I saw. Or was that the first? I don't know. I saw this might have been the first. Now I've already mentioned this in a comment to Tyler from Pocketful Comics. Shout out to Tyler from Pocketful Comics. I had seen he had picked up. He had went to looking for. Really, he likes to collect really old books. I mean, he inherited a collection from his grandfather, and if you haven't subbed him up and looked at his stuff, you really should. But he likes to collect old stuff. And watching him and watching Alan the Comic Collector Geek, I become a fan of older books, mostly for the covers. But this is not a comic book. This was also $3. The same place I bought that, a place called WeBook in here in Edmonton. And for $3, we have Startling Stories from July of 19. Is it 52? I think it's 52 or 53. I think it's 52. So, and that cover, trying to remember, I looked it up, and it's somebody famous. Okay, let me just see if I can find that information. Might be, I can't remember who it is. Startling story. Sorry about this. Should have had this. Startling stories. July 1952. This is going to take me too long. Anyways, here we go. Startling story, Pulp magazine. And okay, somewhere is information on this. Oh, come on. I know I saw this somewhere. Anyways, this is taking me too much time, so. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that says the cover is uncredited in the book, but someone credits it to Schomburg. So, yes, that is supposedly a Schomburg cover. Very cool. Anyways, might have to edit some of that out. We'll see. And the last thing that I picked up that I specifically went out to get from Indigo Books is not a comic book. It's not a pulp. It is a book, but I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons guy, and they're currently redone the core books for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, or whatever the Universal Edition is that they're now calling it. It's basically 5th edition. And some would call this like a 5.5 or whatever, but it's 5th edition. And I have to admit, I mainly got this specifically for, make sure my receipt's not in here anywhere. It has a section on Greyhawk. So it has a little section in the book. They're actually pretty decent sections. I don't know how many pages, but it's a good chapter of the Greyhawk, and it's the first Greyhawk material that has been put out for 5th edition. Except there was this, they did the Saltmarsh book, but it wasn't 100% official, I don't think. But one of the cool things is it has a cool poster map of Greyhawk in the back, which is great. But yes, and regardless, I wanted to pick up the here, and while I'm on the cosmology page, I want to show you the great artwork. Great artwork of the Lady of Pain. So it's a big, heavy tome. Like I said, 30% off at Indigo Books, and that was my goal for New Year's Eve day. So I know there's some comic book guys out there who are also role players, and so I know they'll appreciate taking that. And I also have my friends online at Eon World and the Piazza. Shout out to those guys as well, who will appreciate seeing that book. And I do want to get the Player's Handbook, but the new books, they're pretty expensive, so I won't necessarily rush out to get it right away. I will try to maybe wait for another sale. And, who knows? All I know is they had this, but they didn't have the Players when I went to go to Indigo. So, well, there you go. That's it. It was supposed to be a short little video, but I wanted to show you that inside of that Asmonov magazine, and I wanted to find out, yes, that pulp from 1952 is supposedly a Schomburg cover. Anyway, so like, subscribe, all that stuff. I very much appreciate you watching this video. I hope you had a great Christmas, great New Year's, all that sort of stuff. And I thank you very much for tuning in to watch this video. I do have another strictly comic book column video that'll be out. It might be this week, or maybe I'll save it for next week. But again, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day. Bye.